the Azir looks to be the lock as well for Zeka. We didn't get to see it yesterday. It was banned against Faker every game. This time Honorable Life, it's buffed on this patch. We'll grab it early.
An interesting choice, because Tristana is still very, very strong, and something you could imagine Chovy probably wants to lock in right here.
But it's Lehends, and he's got other ideas.
It's Lehends!
Yeah, it's gotta be DeCrank.
Conwell was like, no, he's never going to play something as stock standard as Braum Ashe. No way, we don't need to ban that. He would never play it.
I tell you what, it's gonna be Delight locking in the cow though, and it feels like this is a bit more of a stock standard composition. But once again, with these Azir comps that Humble Life Esports put together, I don't necessarily see a lot of damage here.
It's very different. The win cons are way less self-explanatory. Last time it's get your 80 carries ahead, especially Tristana, take turrets off the map, snowball the game.
But this down the line, you're just going to get shredded, right? There's so much damage available on Gen G as Canyon.
Oh, Flash does come out. A lot of respect there from Delight, but Canyon not quite finding the angles as Peanut, especially given the sustain advantage. There is a Bramble Vest now complete, so Kane should be able to mitigate some of it, but Peanut, he's coming over. They're looking for an angle. Are they going to be able to find the snare? They do, but the root caller.
This lane literally starting at level 1.
Oh, arrow going to come through. Ah, the walk strategy.
Yeah, it actually is a little tough. I think you are just situations like this where you can get a man advantage and use the long range engage that you have available.
Not a lot of damage until Zeka gets here. He is finally going to come down. Bellow's Breath is fantastic. Even gets the train on in. But Keen is still going to die. And that is first blood going over to Zeka exactly where they wanted the money. The risk is they're going to trade Dragons 1-for-1 and trade turrets 1-for-1. First turret blood going over to Gen G though. They lock down that top
Starting up this arrow, but there's the TP.
Yeah, it looks like Humble Life Esports, they've decided that now is when they want to start fighting. Decent buffer on the slice there from Doran as the Dominus does come on through. Lehends going down extraordinarily low, but so's the Crocodile, and he's going to fall first. The train drives through, but Canyon's already dead. There goes the Blitzcrank as well as the Orn's starting to get amongst it. Delight has been tanking a decent amount as Pace just rockets out of there. Chovy should be able to get over this wall though, not quite enough with the Phosphorus Bomb to be able to take that one down, but he just taxis his way through, and Delight is going to be A-OK. Viper with the shield from the Trigger Seed. As Peanut getting in a little bit of trouble, Pays can't tank up the turret by himself.
Confident, or rather a very decisive way. So Gen G are probably feeling very good about the outcome.
Well, hook onto Daisy.
That's mean.
That is so mean. It is a fair bit of money.
It's good.
For Gen G.
It's a very good hook.
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense, especially Peanut had just used it. The chain CC lands on top of him, the Ivan. Oh, they just took down his best friend, and then they cut him down as well. Oh. Another hook, and that is the Azir. The main character of Humble Life Esports is just dead, and there's no way they're fighting this one.
Driving from Lehends throughout the year, but you know those two were pretty good as he crashes in, takes out the mid turret, and then the follow-up. And obviously in this angle for the arrow, it's very difficult for Peanut to react quickly enough to flash it. But if he does flash it, I think this is a very different situation. They will actually get to have some modicum of a team fight here. Well-deserved, celebration here from Rocket. 2 items for the Azir. You have a lot of great ways to set up fights.
Oh, once again onto Peanut. The hook is going to connect onto Delight, and he's going to use that to taxi forward. The Blitzcrank, certainly not very tanky, but neither is Delight as it turns out. Redemption to keep him alive, but it's Pace just raining frosty bullets into his backside. And Daisy will once again fall down.
There are ways to blow up single targets, and there are ways for Zeka, if they get map control, to set up for flank angles, to set up for engages.
There's no turrets.
Oh dear. Yeah, there are a lot of bad guys coming, and Zeka does not have a lot of friends on the way outside of Peanut. The flash forward from Chovy. Oh, doesn't get slowed down by the volley. Good sidestep there, as now it might be Peanut going down yet again. He does get the brush for Zeka, who's trying to play it out. Pays almost falls, but it's Zeka that goes down in the end. Delight realizing there's no follow-up, there's no angle. That's Lehends versus Viper from best friends.
Whether it matters or not. If he ends up being caught when he could have flashed, it will definitely say yes.
The train is going to come through, gets the knock up as the arrow not going to connect this time around. Peanut able to... As we do have a start on this one, there's a lot of terrain for that arrow to fly through, and there it is. It appears onto the cow. Doesn't even press the R button, does Delight, so that is not really what they were looking for. Humble Life Esports had an inkling on the plate. Doran looking for a flank angle. As there's the curtain call. We have the Dominus come through as well. Going into that back line. The Emperor's Divide is decent, but they're being cut Yes, they get the Corki, but at what cost? And the answer is, yeah, everything.
Second game where Gen G tie us up.
I think that's gonna be it. And you see how well aware Gen G is, and crucially the ults actually end up being fine, right? They used them both, didn't get the pick on Peanut before, but Keen still gets a double knock up and gets a free man ban just to make sure. And I want to be clear, like FaZe didn't get swept up. I think that fight looked rough nonetheless, but that really just turned it from not just the one fight, not just a dragon, but straight up.
They have so many ways to respond as well, as another arrow is going to fly in. This one straight between the goalposts. Not going to be able to find too much more there. As Hook going to connect onto the cow, and Delight going to need to use the Unbreakable Will this time, but I don't know whether it's going to be enough. Thankfully, the curtain call is going to be there, and that does play some interference. Chovy just happily taking these shots, though it's just not doing that much.
But now you don't have your curtain call to really defend the siege, and Jovi's wrapping around. He's starting to put those arrows, and here comes the Ornhorn.
Yep, the train is going to come on through once again. Good double knockup comes down, but the redemption is there to keep them healthy once more.
Sana ahead, but you need to actually win team fights. You need to be oppressive on the map. Once you lose control, Baron goes down. Now Gen G go, yeah, we get set up for the vision.
Possible angle here, but this is a very tanky Keen, able to walk his way through the Emperor's Divide. The Stranglethorns comes in, the rest of Gen G, they're making their way over, but it's just not quite in time. They'll take a consolation daisy, but they still lose their top laner. But the arrow is up, and it's going to be thrown straight into Zeka, who's in Fog of War. There is a brush there to make sure that he is not going to be seen. Finally, they get a control ward through, but now, will it be Hextech Soul, which is probably game, or will it be a one-team fight finally for Humble Life Esports? Already Keen going down very, very low as Chovy trying to cut up Doran, and Doran just can't do anything. He's kind of a handbag in this one. They do manage to take down the Dragon in exchange for the Crocodile. It's a reptilian bargain, but I don't know whether it's going to work, because it looks like after the deal is done, Gen G trying to close this one out. The train does get one knockup, but not onto the priority target as Zeka in the brushes once again. He has Emperor's Divide, but he uses, Emperor's Escape instead.
They now have Cryo on the Baron.
Arrow going to sail through once again. Delight just going to McHale's, and he is going to be A-okay.
The poke though, you gotta go.
You gotta go, you have to fight, but you're cut off, you have no mid-prio.
Yep, Doran knows exactly what's going on, but what is one Croc supposed to do against this one? He presses the dominance, but Humble Life Esports are just a little bit too late, and that is going to be the Hextech Soul to come in. Doran is executed, and in they go. The hook is going to connect. Zeka goes golden, but that only buys a couple of extra seconds. The Emperor's Divide was by 0, I'm pretty sure, in that instance there, and now they're going to move on over towards this Baron and try to take that one down. Keen looking for a little bit more as Peanut will get knocked off the gate, and he is going to be able to take it here. But that is not going to stop this Baron from going down. Viper doing some sneaky stuff here, walking away, and is going to be able to take down a bountied up turret. But the Baron is still going to be secured, and Gen G, I don't think mind about this Jhin going behind enemy lines.
Now maybe he gets a second turret bottom as well with no TPs here for Gen. Punishing the indecision here upon Walife, as Doran has Dominus, right, but the engage is just not there. Delight is zoned out. He can't actually get on top of the targets he wants to hit, and then they just go straight to Doran. Lehends hooks over the wall and takes Zeka out, and he just makes some leap for joy, as it looks like this one is going to 1-1, as there's just nothing Hanwha could do in this. I'm your big bro. I'm your young.
If you overstep,
Daisy!
already.
Oh, Arrow once again going to be collected, but it's Peanut that's in trouble. He's isolated. Another hook! This time onto the Crocodile. The Sterix does nothing because he just can't move. And Humble Life Esports, is there anything? Is there any angle? The thing is, I just don't see it. I don't see what they're supposed to do in this situation. Another arrow going to be soaked by Peanut. The tree is felled once again. The cow follows suit. The pigeon's down. And Viper just has to look on in horror as his menagerie is destroyed. And the Nexus is going to follow. Ladies and gentlemen, in this grand final, it's turning into a best of 3 as Gen G clap back, and they clap back hard.
This bring up,
얘 클렌치 빠졌어.
클린 받았고. 이거 나는 탑부터 바로 라인 홍보올게.
알리 놀았을 수도 있다 근데.
알리 안 보인다.
이쪽은 안 돌았어.
나 알리 미대 뒤에 와드 해놨게.
나 이러고 탑 라인 들어갈 때 궁 한번 봐볼게.
탑라인 이제 들어가.
오케이 나 궁 7초.
여기 체크돼? 뭐야? 오케이. 알리 아래.
얘도 없고 나 이거 앞에 자리 잡아줄게.
오케이. 나 그냥 아지랑 봐볼게. 아지랑 만다. 이거 리파이 못한다. 리파이 못한다 이러면.
난리 W 없어.
나 레벨 좀.
타워.
겐 노플.